What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sammy 2 times back at y'all boys. What up, nigga? Banger reaction, you feel me? We're gonna get straight into it. We got what they aren't telling you about the Philadelphia Eagles. Original link to this video will be in the description. Shout out to J&D Productions. Let's get straight into it. Screen record starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's get into it, man.
The Eagles literally won the Super Bowl 5 years ago. It hasn't been very long since Philadelphia has been in the big game. The Eagles looked very different then. Carson Wentz was supposed to be the franchise quarterback. Nick Foles ended up coming in and winning it all. And Doug Peterson was the Eagles head coach. It was a very different Philadelphia team. Fast forward to today, and it's Nick Sirianni's team. He led the Eagles.
It's crazy how they flipped it in only 5 years. That's crazy. Just 2 years ago, we won 4 games, bro.
To the playoffs in his first season as the head coach a year ago. The Eagles went 9-8. They made it to the wild card where
playoff, but lost to Tampa Bay.
This time, Philadelphia is a lot better and back in the Super Bowl with a chance at a second ring. Jalen Hurts looks like an MVP candidate, and the Eagles overall have the best offense in the NFL with a very good defense to follow. Philadelphia is only one win away from another Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts has been the biggest piece of that puzzle. But first, thank you to Raycon for sponsoring today.
Alright, bro, they be trying to slip in them endorsements. Brother, I don't want to hear that, I'm sorry.
Buds in your pocket's task for this video. The Eagles have done a very good job of completely building around Jalen Hurts. I think it was a little risky, but Philadelphia decided it was best to build around him, and clearly it's worked for the best. I think it's still pretty insane that the Eagles even decided to draft Hurts. That offseason, the Eagles gave Carson Wentz a massive extension and then decided to immediately turn around and use a second-round pick on a quarterback.
That's because Carson Wentz was so injury-riddled, it was crazy. I remember when he first went out, it was his ACL. Then it was his back. Like, bro, we're not going to keep dealing with injuries, so that's why they drafted Jalen Hurts for quarterback safety. Carson Wentz got a bit insecure and left. And you see he's on his second team after us, so he ain't doing very well.
Not move to say the least, but somehow it worked to perfection. Hurts had some good moments last season, but, I mean, it was nothing compared to what we've seen this year. He had 16 touchdowns to 9 interceptions in 2021, and he's improved to 22 touchdowns to 6 interceptions this season. It's no doubt that he's been better in every way. The success of Jalen Hurts is a very interesting case because I do think there are plenty of reasons to give him a lot of credit and plenty of other reasons where you can look the other direction and kind of belittle what he's done this season. There have directly been 2 big moves that the Eagles have made that have been huge benefits to Jalen Hurts.
AJ Brown
Essentially led to his breakout. Philadelphia decided to use a first-round pick on Devontae Smith. Not only was Devontae very
that was the year
college,
before,
but he also played with Jalen Hurts at Alabama. The two had a ton of success together, and what bringing in Devontae more than anything did was give Hurts some familiarity. It wasn't a very crazy thing to do. You know, the Dolphins did it by drafting Jalen Waddle, pair him with Tua Tagovailoa. The Bengals drafted Jamar Chase to put him with Joe Burrow, and last season the Cardinals traded for Hollywood Brown to pair him with Kyler Murray. It's been the popular thing to do, just to pair a college quarterback and his wideout together, because it has worked so well. And that was the case for Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. Smith already had solidified himself as a solid receiver, and Hurts made some big strides in 2021, but then the Eagles made a huge jump by trading for A.J. Brown, and that's what really has set the Eagles apart this year. I think Devontae Smith has the talent to be a fine number 1 wideout, but A.J. Brown is one of the best in the league, and if Devontae is your number 2, your offense is probably pretty good. The Eagles' offensive line has arguably been the best unit on the team. Philadelphia's line is without any doubt the best, and has for the most part made Jalen Hurts' life very
good catch.
And that's what makes Jalen Hurts so difficult to analyze. He's been put in a perfect situation, and that has been the biggest reason for his success. You can make the vast majority of quarterbacks look good if you have the best offensive line in the league. He has amazing weapons all around him, and even when he does come up short, his failures can be masked by the Eagles' dominant defense. So yes, Jalen Hurts is maybe overblown if someone is trying to put them in the same breath as some of the truly best quarterbacks in the NFL. But there is one big caveat. How many quarterbacks are in it?
Bruh, before he continue, if you finna disrespect Jalen and say he's not a top quarterback, bro, please have some facts behind it because according to me, he's making his first Super Bowl appearance, which Josh Allen hasn't did. So I don't want to hear if he's not the top 3
There is always a
quarterback.
way to
He's at least top 5.
a young quarterback and have some kind of explanation
Quiet, baby.
for their success. Joe Burrow is quickly cementing himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he has had the benefit of 2 of the best wideouts in the league in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Don't even start on Patrick Mahomes. He inherited a perennial playoff team with one of the greatest coaches of all time and arguably both the best wide receiver and tight end in the league. If anyone walked in and got lucky earlier in their career, it was Mahomes, but he succeeded with it. Jalen Hurts ended up dealing with a shoulder injury later in the season, and he still kind of is, but he was shut down for 2 weeks, and it completely changed the Eagles. Philadelphia
They
looked
went
like a
0-2.
different team and
I'm
did have a
telling
lot
you.
of problems.
'Cause
People
Jalen
like
Hurts
to use
is the
that
system.
Week 16 game versus the Cowboys, and pretty much either way of how they want you to view Jalen Hurts. On one hand, Gardner Minshew did pass for 350 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he rushed for 1 more. The Eagles lost, but hey, the offense scored 34 points. Those alone definitely help the anti-Jalen Hurts agenda, but there's a lot more to the story. Minshew turned the ball over 3 times, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. That alone will help you lose a game, and Minshew was even worse the following week, and the Eagles managed to lose to the okay at best Saints. There was a very clear disparity between Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew, and Philadelphia
Facts.
needs him to be as good as they want to be, essentially. Hurts returned in Week 18, and he looked fine against the Giants. I think he got rid of a lot of those worries that people had about his shoulder. It was at least going to be good enough. The Eagles were the #1 seed in the NFC, and that gave Hurts
2
an
weeks of
extra week
rest.
to rehab with Philadelphia a bye. The Eagles ended
Facts.
up with the exact same matchup.
Research shows nostalgia can help you remember
Hey
apps.
man, drop a big
Customize
like
and
on the
save
video.
with Liberty
Subscribe
Mutual.
to the channel if you haven't already.
In Week 18 against the Giants, the outcome was very different. You could probably tell the Eagles weren't playing for nearly as much other than a first-round bye in Week 18, because then in the divisional round, the Eagles absolutely killed the Giants. Philadelphia won 28-0, and New York really never stood a chance. The Eagles ended
Facts.
up winning 38-7 in blowout fashion to advance to the NFC Championship, where Philly beat the 49ers 31-7. There is no doubt in my mind that the Eagles are overall the best team in the league. The best team doesn't always win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying Philadelphia is going to win, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would 100% be the Eagles.
Be
The Giants
Philadelphia.
couldn't do anything against them. New York didn't stand a chance. The Eagles beat them in both meetings in the regular season, and then with Philadelphia in playoff mode, they looked even better than before. The Eagles hit a blip late in the regular season that I thought could maybe derail their postseason run, but that clearly wasn't the case, and a huge win over the 49ers confirmed that. I think a lot of people are going to look back at that 49ers game and essentially point out that both Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson got hurt, and that did leave San Francisco without a single functioning quarterback. Brock Purdy ended up just tearing his UCL. So when he did come back into the game, the 49ers could really only run the ball, and that did in the game, essentially. I do think that the Eagles were winning that game.
Bro, for you to lose 4 quarterbacks in 1 season, y'all gotta not be doing something right. Y'all not protecting the quarterback right or something. To lose 4 quarterbacks in 1 season is almost unheard of, bro.
Either way, the way the first 2 drives had gone, it seemed like Philadelphia was in control. Of course, it's hard to know if that would have continued for the entirety of a game, but I do think that's going to raise a lot of questions about the Eagles. And I think there are 2 ways to view the Philadelphia Eagles and this Super Bowl run. And I do believe they are going to win it all. And I think people are either going to try to belittle this run or try to hype up this run. And I think there's one of 2 ways to do that. First and foremost, the Eagles have had a very, very easy run to the Super Bowl. And that's going to be something that comes up a lot, is how easy this run was. They got a first-round bye, which I'm not even going to belittle. They earned the first-round bye. That was huge. They were a very good team. They then played a 6-seed Giants, turned around and had to play a 49ers team that did not have a quarterback, and now get to play Patrick Mahomes on one.
They didn't have a quarterback because we destroyed their ass. Like, I hate when they act like, oh, he didn't have a nigga because he got hit in the mouth. That's why you don't have a quarterback.
Leg. I think there are still good teams they're having to play, but the Eagles have gotten very, very lucky. And I do
Denver,
think there's a
quiet.
chance
I don't wanna
this
hear
game
that.
is looked
Quiet.
back on, and people are essentially going to say that the Eagles had one of the easiest Super Bowl runs of all time. And I do agree with that in some way, but there is a big part that you can't just gloss over, and that is that you cannot disagree that the Eagles were not the best team in football all year. The Eagles were the last undefeated team standing. They were overall the best team in football all season long. The only time
Facts.
they had an issue was when their starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts, was hurt. Other than that,
'Cause he
the
is the
Eagles
system.
dominated all season long. Jalen Hurts, going into the Super Bowl, has lost one game this season.
One game
The
himself.
against Washington. That is it. One loss. The Eagles may have had a bit of an easy road to the Super Bowl, but don't get it twisted. They have been all season and are the most talented team in the NFL. And if they win the Super Bowl, that vindicates everybody who thinks that.
Facts.
I used to be a photographer
That's
with
gonna
this
conclude the
nice
video,
fancy
man.
SLR camera.
That right there is gonna conclude the video. Shout out to my boy J&D Productions for the video, man. Drop a big like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, mention the post notifications on, man. Honestly, bro, y'all know my stance on the Eagles. You see it on my motherfucking cheek, bro. We injured them, not bragging on it, but they wouldn't be injured if they wouldn't have got hit by Hassan Reddick, bro, and Ndamukong Suh, bro. If they wouldn't have hit him, they wouldn't have been injured right now, bro. Feel me? But that's gonna conclude it. Drop a big like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's been your boy 72 times. Hope everybody watching this video is having a blessed day. If you're not having a blessed day, man, spread that positivity, and I promise it's gonna come back to you, man. It's been your boy 72 times. I'm gonna get up out of here. God bless you, man.